Hi, I wanted to give you a little tour of our personal learning plan form for those of you who have not had a chance to have your personal learning plan meeting yet. There's also a link to a blank form in our parent resource sheet. And if you would like to print it and fill it out and send it to us, then that is fantastic. We would love that. If you have not been able to schedule with me, Amy, by July 17th, then your cohort teacher will hold your personal learning plan meeting in probably the second or third week of August. Our school does start on August 12th, but our live classes and clubs don't start until August 26th. So you will have plenty of time to plan your classes. Use the parent resource sheet to help you to decide which classes your kids should be in if you haven't had a learning plan meeting and you want to sign them up sooner. So this is the first page. After we do your learning plan meeting, we send this to you as a PDF so that you can review it and ask any questions or get anything clarified. Once your cohort teacher has possession of this in her drive, she will share the Google Sheet with you in case you want to make any comments or anything like that in that form. So it's just some basic information at the top, the parent names. We love both parent names, or if a grandparent or a friend or a relative are helping to watch your children while they're doing their school at home, or if they're homeschooling them, then go ahead and add those so we know who to reach out to. And a lot of you who have done your learning plan meeting, your cohort teacher and email wasn't filled out yet because we are still assigning them as enrollment is coming in. We like to know what their previous education was. And when this says school, it doesn't mean that you need to tell us what school they were in. We can see that from state records. What we are looking at is, have they always been in person in a district school? Have they been in a charter school, a hybrid program? Have they worked online? Was it asynchronous? We just like to know what our students are already used to doing and what we might need to help them transition into our model for. Favorite activities and interests. This can also be personality traits. This just helps your cohort teacher. If a curriculum or a class turns out not to be a good fit, she can actually use her knowledge of what kinds of activities your kids like to guide you in narrowing down the choices to make a change. We're always willing to make a change, but we want to help you be successful. So, and if you ask us about a curriculum and she knows your child's personality, learning modalities, how they learn best, what they don't respond to, she can usually advise you on whether or not that curriculum will be a good fit, or share any concerns or thoughts she has on that so you can make the decision. We like to know, if you are already homeschooling, what curriculum that you have been using and how did you like it. So if you used a certain curriculum and your kids hated it, let us know that, because we won't recommend that if you need any recommendations for a change. Family notes includes what other siblings are in the house, or anything that you want to share with us that doesn't feel too personal and that maybe you feel we need to know so that we are aware of that. It's nice to know if mom is expecting a baby and when, so that the cohort teacher knows maybe mom will need a little extra support around that time. It's nice to know if this is your only child or if you are juggling 4 younger kids. That also helps our cohort teachers know how much support you need and in what way. This is our way of checking that the 4 core subjects are being covered. So you can do an elevated class, you can use our curriculum offline, or you can choose a curriculum and then any supports that might be needed. So if you choose your own curriculum, we might add a support if we know that it's not filling quite all the skills that we want filled, but we'll talk to you about that. So this is just our way of making sure all the 4 core subjects are being covered. Your science alternative curriculum can be Kiwi Crates or Crunch Labs, social studies, same thing. So it doesn't have to be a formal packaged curriculum. We also put down any extracurricular activities. This is how we show the state that we are using public funding to promote your child's learning plan. So we can always adjust this as needed. If you decide that your child would really benefit from music, it's okay if it's not on here at the beginning of the year. We can add it in later as we choose that. And then if your child has an IEP or a 504, we like to know that, so we know that when we request records that we need to be looking for that. If you feel like your child might need some supports, then please put that in here also, so that in August, when we open, we will be able to set up a meeting and figure out if that is something that would benefit your child. The next page is the schedule. This one is blank. Usually when you have your learning plan meeting, we've pre-populated this with a couple different options, because no matter what grade level your child is by age, we place children in classes based on skills. So all of our classes are mixed age. I've done about 150 of these learning plans so far, and I can tell you all the classes are mixed age. None of the classes are labeled by grade level. We want the kids to feel really good about learning at the level they are at and moving forward at a pace that is challenging for them, but not frustrating for them. So we would fill this out, and so that you can see it in a week at a glance. And then the last page of your learning plan is the personalized learning funds. So you start with a balance of $1,500. Any virtual classes through Elevated, you don't pay for the class, but you need to pay for the materials for the class. So I would enter the price of the materials in here, and that will adjust this balance. Anything you tell us that you want to take outside, if we know the cost of it, we will also put that in here. And if when we actually buy it, that cost adjusts, sometimes we can get a discount. Shouldn't go up, but it might come down. Then we adjust it. And then you'll see, when you get this, you'll see what your balance is after you've put in all your core activities and curriculum, and any clubs. Also, we do have a place for clubs, and clubs do have a fee, and we will enter that in here so you can see with the club fee what your balance is that you still have to work with for extracurriculars or other items you might need for your child. But the clubs are eligible for a fee waiver. It's based on household size and income. If you think you might be eligible, just reach out to me and I will send you a super easy one-page form. And if your child is eligible for a fee waiver for clubs, we can't waive the fees for materials for core classes, but for clubs we can, then I would just deduct it here and your balance would go back up. So when you have this with your cohort teacher in August, instead of a PDF, you'll have a link to a file where you can constantly be looking to see what your funds balance is. Thank you.